Okay. I've changed it over on Twitch. I'm thinking, do we jog the YouTube VOD for like 15 minutes of coverage? Yeah, all right. We shouldn't be lazy. Let's go. All right. Stand by for loss of signal on the YouTube side. I'll be right back. Up to you, but you'd say nah? No? No, I need the you need the VODs cut up for the end of just yeah. I'll be right back. Just give me 1 second. Okay. I'm back. Here, welcome to Starlink 12-18 launch coverage, and I'm totally not running behind schedule, and we are not totally 2 minutes out from the Starlink launch, but here we go. This is Starlink 12-18. YouTube, give me a 5x5 if you can. So,
Stage 2 LOX load is complete.
Stage 2 LOX load complete. Should be ready for ground gas closeout on the Strongback here momentarily. Today's booster that's flying is 1077. It's its 18th flight, 36-day turnaround. This is SpaceX's 19th mission of 2025.
Ground gas closeouts.
There we go. Launch complex that's being used today is Slick 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. And it looks like a pretty nice day down there in Florida. A little cloudy, but should be good. No problem, Dan. I don't think that's ever happened, Sea Kraken. Launching rockets in the cold usually doesn't end well. So, today's payload is a Starlink payload. 12-18 consists of 13 direct-to-cell satellites and 8 Starlink V2 minis. 21 satellites on board total. We're inside of 1 minute. Falcon 9 is go for startup.
Launch director, go for launch.
LD reports go. 40 seconds. Yeah, it's a nice day in Florida. Pretty. Hey, Laser Drifter. 44-month resub. Thank you. The
15 seconds.
The landing vessel is just read the instructions. I'm not 100% sure if this is the
10,
Bahamas landing, but
9,
pad deluge is on. Sound
7,
suppressor has turned on.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Ignition.
1. Ignition. And liftoff. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Bahamas on the 17th. Thank you, Vasya. Okay.
M1D, chamber pressures are nominal.
Good call. Chamber pressures nominal here. We're starting mid-afternoon Starlink ascent into orbit here. Okay, good shot of Slick 40 right there. Slick 41 should be coming into the picture at the top of your screen. Vehicle is executing a roll program at this time and a pitch over maneuver to initiate gravity turn. It's morbid time.
Telemetry nominal.
Shot of Slick 41 at the top of the screen there. Got some low-lying clouds in Florida today, but everything
Vehicle supersonic.
looks good. Call for supersonic. Next call should be maximum dynamic pressure, which is peak aerodynamic load exerted on the vehicle. Basically, Falcon 9 can't move the air out of the way fast enough. So that causes a compression force, and it's not ideal if
Q.
accordioning your rocket on the way up. So what Falcon 9 does is it throttles down for max Q, and right around now it should be re-throttling up the 9 engines in the first stage, because Falcon 9 has ascended high enough to get out of the thicker parts of the atmosphere. So from here, your dynamic pressure on the front of the vehicle is going to go down.
Stage 2 engine chill.
Because you're doing that whole space thing, you know? Just got a call there for second stage engine chill. Second stage engine chill is thermal conditioning on the second stage engine. They're priming it and cooling it down to handle the semi-cryogenic propellants that Falcon 9 uses, particularly the liquid oxygen. This turbine machinery is designed to work at low temperatures because the propellants are at low temperatures. So the chill down is basically getting the engine ready to fire in anticipation of the events that are going to happen here momentarily. Hey, Goss, 62-month resub. Wish SpaceX would open the Arrow UI. Yeah, me too. Okay, Falcon 9's aligning to the posigrade vector here in preparation for MECO. That's what that little movement is. What is the payload? We got 13 direct-to-cell and 8 Starlink V2s. 21 Starlinks total.
Main engine cutoff.
There's MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
Good separation on the upper stage. Stand by for ignition.
Stage 2 ignition.
Okay. Good separation. Good upper stage ignition. Falcon 9 first stage is deploying its grid fins here, and its attitude control systems using cold gas nitrogen are reorienting the stage for the entry burn, which should be happening in a couple of minutes. Now, T plus 3 minutes 5 seconds into the flight, fairing separation should be coming up here momentarily.
Fairing separation confirmed.
There it is. Good fairing separation, exposing 21 satellites to the vacuum here for the first time. Those fairings will be reused in a future flight. They do basically surf all the way back down, and they parachute out into the water and will be recovered. Should be hearing a call for both stages following nominal trajectories sometime in the next minute or so. How structurally sound do the fairings have to be for re-entry? Not very. I mean, the fairings are super, super light. That's what they have going for them. The fairings being super light gives them what's called a real low ballistic coefficient, and they have a very high coefficient of drag when flying sideways, right? They don't re-enter like nose first. They re-enter on their sides with the halves facing towards the re-entry heating. That's a lot of surface area in a very small mass. So, believe it or not, the fairings, when they're just kind of sitting by themselves, they flop around. They're not very structurally sound. They're only really structurally sound when they're together like that, when they come together to form one. No, think of them like a piece of paper almost, right? Not that consistency, right? They're a lot stronger than that. But if you hit one pretty hard, it would crack it. But for the mass, it's super lightweight for mass in the surface area. So they really slowed down. I know that's not exactly what you're asking, but that's how they're able to come back down. And because they're so light, dude, the structure is good enough to withstand the reentry. That's what I'm telling you. It's not very, they aren't very strong. Like, dude, if you like took a hammer to the side of the fairing, it'd go through it. Like, you'd be surprised. Interesting, Baron. Hey, Shortline, what's up, man? Okay.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
Here's my favorite
Stage
part.
1 FTS has saved.
Supersonic retro propulsion. Falcon 9's now firing its engines to slow itself down and give it a cool column of gas shielding as a shield to against re-entry heating. And the chat goes wild. That's my favorite part. Yeah, you heard that right. It's firing its engines to slow down, obviously, but these engines are actually pushing
Stage
away
1 entry burn shut down.
the entry heating that's happening on the vehicle because of air compression. Basically, the engine exhaust gases are working exactly like a heat
Stage 2
shield.
FTS has saved.
It's pretty awesome. That's like one of my favorite parts. Now the grid fins are really going to put in some work here. And a little bit of soot buildup on the camera here. You get a lot. The reason why these Falcon 9 boosters come back and they look so dirty is because it's flying through its own exhaust. Falcon 9s usually, they run extremely fuel rich for cooling purposes. They run with way more fuel than oxidizer on purpose. That's the fuel that doesn't get exploded absorbs the heat, the stuff that doesn't get burned off. And that comes out as carbon soot. You can see some of it. You can see some of it on the camera here. Falcon 9 now getting into the lower parts of the atmosphere. You really tell those grid fins are under a crazy amount of load because they're moving around. You can see them moving around on the vehicle. Yeah, it looks like the landing legs are kind of flopping around down there too. Look at that. Drone ship is visible under the left grid
Stage
fin.
1 landing burn.
Landing burn has been initiated. Grid fin's now steering Falcon 9 over the drone ship here.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
And when Falcon 9 is slowed down sufficiently, the grid fins will lock into place. And Falcon 9 will
Stage
land
1
entirely
landing leg
on
deploy.
thrust vector control. Falcon 9 on TVC and attitude control systems coming down to land on just read the
Stage 1
instructions.
landing confirmed.
Booster 1077 completing its 18th flight. Perfect. Never gets old, man. Crazy to think that the engine exhaust is cooler than the plasma. That's right. Do you know what percentage of throttle is when they re-enter? The engines are going pretty hard, Miles. It fires one engine and then fires three engines. That tells me that those engines are doing work. They had to stage the engines during the entry burn. So it fires one, then it fires three, then it fires one, then it shuts off. Pretty cool. We had a good call for nominal orbit insertion there. I just want to see what the staging velocity was. 27,109. Perfect. I've noticed that they were targeting like 27 on the dot. It was like 27,035 for a while, and now they've moved these hybrid direct-to-cell V2 minis. They've moved them. They're like 27,100. Interestingly enough. So, Miles, you asked what percentage of throttle is going with doing the supersonic retro propulsion. I'm pretty sure they're maxed out because of the deceleration. If you watch how quickly it's decelerating, those engines are throttled. They're throttled all the way. 18th, it's just a baby. Yeah. Comparatively to 1077, which last night for this Starlink mission, we saw it complete its 23rd mission, which is the second or third highest booster. That was 1073, I think. 1077 was what just flew right now. But yeah, that's going to do it for the Starlink 12-18 launch coverage. Very good, very good. Is the reentry burn pre-programmed or is it telemetry based and also landing burn? It's both. It's programmed to read the telemetry to burn at the right time. I mean, if you look at the deceleration rates, when it fires the engine smiles, it's really decelerating fast. Like, I wouldn't be on it. You'd get pancaked, and if you were like riding in the interstage, that would hurt. That would hurt a lot. That thing really, really slows down. I think Elon has said that the landing burns, like you pull like 20 G's of deceleration, like sustained. I think he said that on the internet before, which is pretty bananas to me. That would hurt. You would feel that later if you survive. Is that a challenge? Yes. Yeah, your brains would be going into your feet. Yep. 20 G's sustained. They'd be picking you up with a sponge. Yeah, that just be a mist. Yeah. Yeah, Benji, the rocket launch last night, the jellyfish was awesome. Really, really cool. What's this puddle? Yeah, Jojo, exactly. There. Yeah. Yeah. Like watching like the Roadrunner and Coyote, and the Coyote get like explodes, and it just melts, and it's just like, yeah, like that. Well, but gross. Let's stop talking about this. Anyway. Unless they pump you up with the juice from the Expanse. Yep. All right. X-Wing Starbase question. I understand why the Pad A redesign can't have north-south flame trenches. What about a wedge-shaped trench facing east? That would need to be a wide trench, man. Yeah, you could do that, sure. Have you seen the Vast tweet with Haven 1 and the jellyfish behind it? Yeah, William. Somebody linked that right a second ago when I was playing Workers. Here, take a look. Vast is doing work, man. Look at that. Yeah, it's Falcon 9 second stage up there, and a space station module that Vast is testing, which will eventually fly on a Falcon 9. Das actually had a very interesting comment here. If you look at this thing, I never really noticed it, but it's actually the shape of the fairing. It's the shape of the fairings. It's designed to basically fill the inside of Falcon 9 fairing. You look at tapers down here, so you could picture like the fairing going up here, and then the nose cone being like right there. This module is designed to fit in it, which is pretty funny. Yeah, you make your space station modules fairing shaped. Standard Kerbal playing right there. That's fine. $20 Colonel Stapp wouldn't notice that. He kept going up to 38 G's sustain. Yeah. Not everyone's Colonel Stapp, Tessa. All right. Excuse me, when RP1? Nah, I'm good. All right, guys. So we're going to start a new republic in Workers here. So I'm going to jog the VOD again. I hope you guys enjoyed the Starlink 12-18 launch coverage. I will be right back.